Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping straight into a massive, incredibly important topic. We are going to completely shatter one of the most damaging, pervasive myths that cancer patients and health-conscious folks are told today. You know the one? The age-old warning that sugar feeds cancer, so you absolutely have to cut out everything sweet, including fruit. Well, get ready, because we're going to dig right into the hard science and flip that idea completely upside down.
Okay, let's dive into this. Consider this concept for a second. If you completely eliminate sugar from your diet, you are actively starving the exact critical parts of your body that keep you fighting. We're talking about your brain, your muscles, your entire immune system. They fundamentally, literally run on this fuel. Which brings us right to the core of the issue. Does sugar actually feed cancer? It's a terrifying concept, right? And frankly, it demands a really deep scientific unpacking. We just can't operate on fear here. We need to understand exactly what's happening at a cellular level.
Section 1. The Big Sugar Myth. Fact versus fiction.
Section 2. Where the myth began. The medical origins.
Look, I totally validate why people are so confused about this because this myth didn't just appear out of thin air. It actually stems from a very real, highly observable medical procedure that oncologists use every single day. Let's walk through how a PET scan works. Step 1, the patient is injected with an IV liquid containing radioactive glucose, which is literally just a sugar molecule. Step 2, that glucose enters the bloodstream. And step 3, because cancer cells have an incredibly high metabolic rate, they scoop up that radioactive sugar way faster than your normal cells do. This is exactly what allows doctors to scan the body and see where the tumors are because they literally light up from the sugar.
So the crucial point is this. The observation that cancer cells eat glucose faster is absolutely correct. However, all of your healthy cells need sugar to survive too. Yes, cancer has a high metabolic rate, but sugar is a fundamental fuel for every single organ survival in your body. You simply can't just turn off the sugar supply to the bad cells without turning it off for the good ones.
Section 3. Your body makes its own. The liver's role.
Now this brings us to the biological plot twist of our explainer. We need to look at what actually happens when you try to completely starve your body of dietary sugar out of fear. Your body is incredibly smart, right? And it performs this fascinating process called gluconeogenesis. Let's break down that fancy medical term. You've got gluco for glucose or sugar, neo meaning new, and genesis meaning making new sugar. Your body is literally designed to keep you alive. So if it senses you aren't getting enough fuel from your food, your liver just steps in and makes the sugar anyway. You literally cannot escape it.
So, if depriving yourself of sugar doesn't work, we need to completely redirect our focus away from that black and white view. Here is what actually slows cancer growth down. Number 1, we need to focus on reducing systemic inflammation. 2, we need to stop the blood vessels that are growing to feed the cancer. And 3, we absolutely must boost how well your immune system works. Those are the 3 real physiological processes we need to be managing through our diet.
Section 4. The food matrix magic. Nature's packaging. And this is where we shift the narrative to the real hero of this explainer. We are going to explore why naturally sweet, whole foods are absolutely not the enemy. They're actually part of the cure. Contrast these two concepts for a minute. On one hand, we have isolated sugar. This is your refined, empty fuel for cells. But on the other hand, we have the food matrix. This is natural sugar, brilliantly packaged by Mother Nature alongside dietary fiber and polyphenols. Why does this matter? Because that fiber and those polyphenols actively fight inflammation, they literally cut off the tumor's blood supply, and they drastically improve your gut health.
Section 5. Fruits that fight cancer. The clinical data. Now, what's really interesting is when we look at massive clinical trials, we're talking about the EPIC study in Europe, the Nurses' Health study involving hundreds of thousands of people. We find these fascinating data points that unequivocally prove consuming sweet, plant-based whole foods actually lowers your cancer risk. Look at this number, 14 to 15 grams. That is the surprisingly high amount of natural sugar, roughly 4 whole teaspoons, found in just a single cup of sweet blueberries. Think about it, if you were strictly terrified of sugar, you'd run away from this fruit.
But here is the powerful punchline. Despite that high sugar content, consuming those sweet blueberries is associated with a massive 31% lower risk of estrogen-negative breast cancer. This is a really specific type of cancer that isn't fueled by hormones, which traditionally makes it a lot harder to treat. And yet, the sugar didn't fuel the cancer. The whole food matrix fought it.
And this brilliantly illustrates the wider picture. Take a medium tomato. It has about 3 to 4 grams of sugar, but brings a 20 to 30% lower risk of prostate cancer. Look at a medium apple, 18 to 19 grams of sugar, guys. That is almost 5 teaspoons. Yet it's linked to an 11% lower risk of lung cancer. And peaches and stone fruit, packing 12 to 13 grams of sugar, show a staggering 41% lower risk of that exact same estrogen-negative breast cancer we just mentioned. The juxtaposition between this high sugar content and these incredible cancer-fighting properties is just amazing.
It all comes right back to the core thesis of our explainer today. It is not about the sugar alone. It's the entire food matrix that provides the benefit. Cancer patients, and honestly anyone looking to protect their health, should not fear sweet fruits. The total composition of the food, the fiber, the polyphenols, the nutrients, the whole shebang, is exactly what arms your body's health defenses.
I really want to highlight this very powerful final thought straight from our source material. Believing those myths can actually be harmful and deprive you of the opportunity to use something that Mother Nature provided us, and that is food as medicine.
This is absolutely crucial. Avoiding healthy fruit based on a misunderstanding doesn't protect you at all. It actively harms your own health by depriving you of these amazing natural defenses.
So as we wrap things up, I want to leave you with this provocative question. Will you let a misunderstanding dictate your diet, or will you let Mother Nature's medicine fight for you? I truly hope this data empowers you to rethink